Today, let's talk about IAM policy. IAM simply means Identity Access Management. Now, you see, IAM policy, there are rules and regulations that you are setting for all your AWS services so that they can know what to do and what not to do. Apart from setting it for all your services like EC2, S3 buckets, RDS, and all that, you also set IAM policy for users or group of people that are working in organization. Now, this IAM policy, it comes in JSON format, which is JavaScript Object Notation Program. Now, this JavaScript Object Notation Programming, it is a programming language that both the services that are on AWS understand and human beings can also read and understand. So you as a solution architect, you will mostly encounter JSON IAM policy. So your work is now to be able to interpret it. You need to know how to interpret it. You need to know what each part of the JSON represents so that you can know the kind of policy that is applied to any service that you see. So that is the essence of you knowing IAM policy. So let's go through the IAM policy and understand each structure of IAM policy.
Okay guys, what you are seeing on the screen is IAM policy structure. So this thing you mostly encounter it in all AWS accounts. So you need to master it, you need to know it, you need to know how to interpret all these things that you're seeing on my screen. So the first one is version. Now this is just the policy format version. This one will tell the AWS the style of policy rules you are using. And it is always 2012-10-17. This one is just like saying I am using 2012 rulebook of AWS. So that is what the version simply stands for. So it is mostly like that. Now the second one you see is ID. So ID, this one is just the identifier or a name tag for every policy. You see, the name of this policy now is S3 account permission. So this one is a policy that is telling, okay, that what kind of permission can people have in our S3 buckets. So that is what the ID stands for. Now the statements, which is number 3, this is where the real rules are written. So it is inside this statement that all the old rules are written, all the old things that we want to allow and we want to deny in S3 bucket. This is where we are going to write it. This is where everything will be. This is the part that is telling us what is actually happening. So now let's start with the first one. You see, SID. That SID simply means statement ID. This one is just a small label to identify this particular rule. Second one under SID is effect. Now it is effect that tell AWS whether to allow or deny. So here now we have only two options. When you see allow, it means AWS will allow all this permission. When you see deny, it means it will deny it. So this part is allowing it. So there you are telling the AWS to allow all this policy. Then we have the principal. The principal, this one shows who the permission is for. This one tell that okay, this permission that we are giving to so service, which person have the right to use this permission. And you can see at the back of that numbers we have root, ROOT, root. That shows that it is the root account that have access to this kind of permission. Ordinary user cannot use this type of permission. So that is what this one is telling us. Now if you go to the next one, you see action. Now action there, this one is telling us the things that this particular root account are allowed to do. Now you can see there under action we have S3 get objects, S3 put objects. The S3 get object means they can download, they can read files from the S3 buckets. Then the S3 put object means this root user can upload and can add files to the to the S3 buckets. So that is what that action stands for. Now the last part, which is resources. Now this one defines where the action can happen. This one is telling us like where the permission can be applied inside the bucket. So here now this one is telling us, okay, you can see the permission, all this permission that is at the top, they can be aligned in my bucket, which is the S3 bucket. And you can see that after my bucket, we have /*. That asterisk means all files and folder inside the bucket. It means all this permission can be out in all the files and folder in my S3 bucket. So that is what this permission is talking about. I hope you understand. So if you understand this, please hit the like button, follow us for more updates like this. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.